Namaste, guys. ChristianRLong, Life Enhancement Consulting, giving you a big and beautiful shout out here on this Monday evening here in Denver, Colorado. It is 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. We're jumping on for a daily dose of growth, challenges designed to grow your soul, all shapes and sizes, in all ways and forms, on all levels. And today's challenge, Lizzie, Namaste. Good to have you on as always. Karen, Namaste. We have a competition of who can get on first. I should have like a little I don't know. Hurry up, Namaste. I haven't never seen you on before. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're doing our Paula, Namaste. You're not usually on. I didn't do it. Own it, Samantha. Jessica, Namaste. So as we do our streams in the evening from the earlier challenge at 8 o'clock in the morning, when you jump onto this stream, you say, I did it. I didn't do it. Even if you don't know what the challenge is, that would still mean you didn't do it, right? Denise, Namaste. So say, I did it, I didn't do it. I did it, I didn't do it. Lizzie, Namaste. Excellent. Karen, excellent. I'm super proud of you guys. Paula, Namaste. Did you do it? Denise, did it. Excellent. Good job. Super, super proud of you guys. Amanda's jumping on, bringing the heat. Did you do it? So the challenge, for those of you logging in for the first time and didn't do the earlier challenge, I may have done it. That's a good answer. Is you set your watch on your iPhone or your clock or your timer on your iPhone for 15 minutes and you do empty retention for 15 minutes, meaning you inhale normally, hold, exhale, and then you hold out the exhale, which is called empty retention, for 5 seconds. So you inhale, exhale, your lungs are empty, and then you hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale. Amanda did it. Yay, Amanda. Hold on, everyone. So yes, I did it, and the first holding it for 5 seconds set my lungs and brain in panic mode, but towards the end, I was able to hold it up for 10 seconds. Wow, that's double the improvement in such a short period of time. I love it. Joanna, did it, didn't do it. Did it, didn't do it. Remember, we say we did it, or we didn't do it. Adriana, Namaste. High five for you. And so after we say, I did it, I didn't do it, just like Jessica did, we share what our experience was. What was the awareness before the challenge, during the challenge, after the challenge? What understanding did we get? And what is our feedback or lesson moving forward? Right? This is called practical spirituality. Joanna, excellent. You did it, you did it, you did it. So what were you aware of when you did it, before, during, and after? What's your understanding? And what's your feedback? And then we'll go into the higher teaching. So a minute or so to share. I know there's always a 10 to 15 second delay. After this, taking a salt bath, my body's feeling heavy. Suresh, Namaste, you did it. Yay, did it. I understand what you said. Very good. Congratulations. Give any feedback you'd like to give to the group. Also, by the way, as you give feedback, what do? You get more awareness. So Lizzie, I like Lizzie's style. Bam, it's like, It's like this, super fast. Before, hesitant, thought it was weird. During many thoughts kept intruding. After, relaxed and sleepy. There's that sleepy thing happening. That happened with Sarah the other day when we did Twin Hearts. Okay, so relaxed and sleepy. We'll cover that. Very good. Excellent feedback. Feedback is it seemed to have helped me breathe easier and feel more energy. Excellent. Denise says I was able to hold my breath 7 seconds. Felt a lot more energy, stillness. I was able to exhale more and breathe more. Beautiful. Tina's late to the party, girl. Did it, didn't do it. Did it, didn't do it. There's Sarah. Did it before bed, got too energized and couldn't sleep. What are you talking about, Adriana? You act like you're 8 hours ahead of Denver right now, which would be about 2 o'clock in the morning for you. Joanna says, well, going into town wearing a COVID-95 mask, my body was starving for oxygen, so it was a little freaky at first, but after a while it was not bad. Ah, good. So the body normalized. Elena and I did it. Yes. Good job, Tina and Elena. What is your feedback from doing it? Amanda says, I focused on the gap and blissed out. Perfect. You see how Amanda slid in with the higher technique? Awesome. Very, very good. Very good. Super good feedback. Anything else? Anything else that you guys want to cover? Questions you have before we get into the higher practice? The higher practice. Out of coffee, no more coffee. This no buena. Is it no bueno or no buena? Is this masculine or feminine? You guys gotta help me with this. Sarah says, I enjoyed it a lot. Feel peace. Very good. Feeling peace. Karina, namaste. Good to have you on. Elena felt relaxed. I felt relaxed and breathed easier as I continue. Elena felt calmer. Good, good, good. Now, ask yourself this question. You guys said by the end of it, you were feeling calmer, more peaceful, more still, and blissing out. It's bueno. Perfect. At the beginning, I felt my heart running very fast. Good. Good awareness. So your heart was running very fast. Okay. We'll cover that in a minute. Did you notice you felt calmer, more relaxed, more peaceful, and blissed out before 15 minutes? Did you notice you felt the benefits before 15 minutes? Yes or no? Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My little nose is all worked up. I have a tiny Irish nose, but it's getting worked up. Yes, so Suresh says, yes, I did it before, felt sluggish, felt very calm, peaceful, relaxing. Afterwards, felt lots of clarity and energetic. Also felt lots of tingling on forehead and ajna. That seems to be your jam lately, tingling around your forehead. Coffee is masculine, so they say, no es bueno. Oh, I wonder why coffee is masculine. What fluid is feminine? Is like juice feminine? Or is it just coffee? Like, are all liquids masculine? That would be interesting to know. Thank you, Suresh. Before felt hesitant and anxious. Yes, yes, yes. Interesting. Okay, so you guys notice you felt better before the 15-minute mark. I want you to keep that in mind. Good. So let us do the feedback, or the higher teaching. So from Grandmaster Choa Kok-Sui's book, which says Miracles Through Pranic Healing, any liquid, Miracles Through Pranic Healing. This book was originally called The Art and Science of Pranic Healing, but as people around the world began practicing the protocols that are contained in this book, they were producing what? Miraculous healing. So Grandmaster Choa Kok-Sui decided to change the name of the book to Miracles Through Pranic Healing. So this book was written in the mid-'80s and revised several times as the protocols became updated and there was more feedback from healers around the world. Amanda said her forehead and ajna became energized. Good. Suresh says, good or bad, been meditating for years and always felt tingling in forehead area. Okay. Cass, Abba Namaste, have not seen you on the stream before. Welcome. So in this book, this is like the beginner book for everyone who does pranic healing and wants to know more about pranic healing. This is like our manual, if you will. Sarah says, it is El Jugo, El Cafe. Both are masculine, not all drinks are. Ooh, okay. So juice is masculine, coffee is masculine. I do self-healing. So if you go to page, if you go to page 134, I want to read the appropriate part. I had this. Okay, so I want to read from the teacher's book real quick, just to give you guys an idea. So pranic breathing energizes you to such an extent that your aura, right, the overflow energy of your chakras, temporarily expands by 100% or more. So if your aura was this big, which it's not, it's bigger than that, but if your aura was this big, it would be double that size by the end of doing the technique. The inner aura expands to about 8 inches or more, the health aura to about 4 feet or more, and the outer aura to about 2 meters or more. So we have different layers to our aura, right? We have the inner aura, which is like the last line of defense energetically from things entering our system. We have our health rays, which are like the sweat centers of our energy body, right? So you have pores on your skin, right? And so when your body's purging or purifying or cooling itself down, it sweats. So our energy body has something called the health rays. So we sweat congested energy out through our health rays, and then we have our outer aura, which extends even past that. Okay? When doing pranic breathing, the healer becomes more powerful. His etheric body or energy body becomes brighter and denser. All these things can be verified through scanning. So people who can feel energy can verify, wow, the aura is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and denser and denser and denser, right? So you can perform the simple experiment, which is what we did. Ask a friend to do pranic breathing for several minutes. Scan your friend before, during, and after pranic breathing, right? So someone who's been trained in how to scan. Note the changes in the size of the auras. You may even feel a rhythmic pulsation. Chrissy Atma, namaste. Or expansion. It is important that you perform this and other experiments so that your knowledge will be based on solid foundations. Okay? In doing abdominal breathing, you expand your abdomen slightly, then inhaling, contract. It's what we did. The critical factors involved are the rhythm and the empty retention. The rhythm and the empty retention. Holding your breath after exhalation is called empty retention, and holding your breath after inhalation is called full retention. So if you inhale and hold all the oxygen in your lungs, that's full retention. If you exhale, empty your lungs, you will have empty retention. This is the key point. Through clairvoyant observation, meaning people who can see energy, it is noted that there is a tremendous amount of prana, or energy, rushing into all parts of the body when inhalation is done after empty retention. This does not take place if the inhalation is not preceded by empty retention. I'll read that last sentence sums up everything. This does not take place if the inhalation is not preceded by empty retention. So if you're just breathing normally, the tremendous amount of prana moving into your system does not occur. So that's why empty retention is super, super important. When drawing in prana, you may use either the pranic breathing method or the hand chakra technique, or both of them simultaneously. Not concerned for this moment. Doing pranic breathing before and after healing is important. Before healing patients, doesn't matter if you're healing patients or not. It's about obtaining more energy, right? Before healing patients, do 5 cycles of pranic breathing to increase the energy level of your etheric body and thereby increase the healing power. You guys did way more than 5 cycles over 15 minutes. After healing, wash your hands and do 5 cycles of pranic breathing to recharge your body and avoid pranic depletion. If the instructions are followed, the healer will be able to treat many patients in one day without getting depleted. And then it goes on for more information. But in other teachings by Master Choa, if you can practice consciously doing empty retention breathing, meaning you change the way that you breathe throughout the day, your pranic energy level will be very, very high. So when you interact with other people, you won't get depleted. Yes, when you do healings on lots of people, you won't get depleted because what you're doing is absorbing a tremendous amount of prana into your system. And the other key component, so he said empty retention, so holding on the empty retention, so you exhale, empty your lungs, you hold for 5 seconds or more, keywords, or more. You inhale, you get a huge flood of prana into your system. The other thing is rhythmic breathing. Rhythmic breathing. So inhaling, hold, exhaling, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So you're breathing in a rhythm. That's what makes pranayama powerful. There are many different types of pranayamas or breathing exercises that have different purposes and functions within your energy body, within your emotional body, within your mental body, and yes, even your spiritual body. But you want to do it rhythmically in order for the best benefit. And then at some point, master empty retention. How many of you have meditated, and as you're meditating, you stop breathing? How many of you have been meditating, either the Twin Hearts meditation, from a meditation from another school, or the higher meditations in our Hatha Yoga, and you notice, wait a minute, I haven't been breathing for the past minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. How many people have noticed that? It's partly due to your chakras are getting fed from prana created in the meditation. So as you practice more and more and more and more, you have less need to breathe. There you go. So Karen goes, I do. So what happens is when you're in deep meditation, pay attention guys, when you're in deep meditation, the chakras start spinning so quickly and pulling in so much energy that it feeds your entire system. Your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body. Is so much energy is being absorbed by the chakras. That's the benefit of them spinning super fast, right? But when the chakras are dirty, when the chakras are not functioning properly, they're really slow, and it's like they have mud or tar or stickiness all over them. They can't what? They can't spin as quickly, and they can't absorb as much energy as quickly. So they're not as efficient or effective in doing their jobs. That's why having a clean energy body is super important. How do we do that? We get pranic healing. We do our meditations daily. We take salt baths daily. We disconnect and cut cords daily. Right? Does that make sense? So doing pranayama and changing the way you breathe can really transform your life. I did this practice not unknowingly, but I did it from another school when I was 15 years old. So I was practicing, I decided, I don't know why, probably because of my previous yogic training, that I said, okay, I'm going to change my breathing pattern in order to generate more energy within my system. And that particular pranayama made my physical body much stronger. So at the age of 15, at 145-pound body weight, I was able to do a full squat with 315 pounds. 15 years old, 145-pound body weight, doing a squat with 315 pounds because I was practicing a certain type of breathing technique. As I got older, into my late teens, I learned other breathing techniques that mostly were in the nose and out the nose, not including the mouth. When you breathe out through the mouth, it's a cleansing effect. When you're in and out the nose, it's a soothing effect. So some of you became anxious when you were practicing the breathing technique. Why? Because you're inhaling, you're changing your breathing pattern, and your solar plexus is responding accordingly, going, whoa. We don't breathe like this. This isn't how we operate. So your body starts taking on a fight or flight response, which is you start breathing costally, meaning the upper part of rhythmically. So when you inhale through the nose and you exhale through the nose, you're creating a funnel of energy that goes from here down and stimulates the lower lobes of your lungs, calming you. But if you breathe from your mouth, you're stimulating the upper lobes of the lungs, and you're getting anxious and you're having fight or flight. See, it even bothers me doing it because I haven't done that in 25 years. I breathe through my nose. As hard as I'll work out, as intensely as I do my cardio, I breathe through my nose, inhale and exhale through my nose, because I want to keep my heart rate low and I want to keep my nervous system calm. Most people who become anxious and have anxiety or panic attacks breathe through their mouths. They're not breathing through their noses. Lamas to help push a baby out. And if you look at babies breathe properly. Babies breathe diaphragmically. Their little fat chunky bellies extend when they inhale and they go down when they exhale. Adults typically do the reverse. Our society and our social conditioning teaches us to breathe incorrectly. Interesting, right? So Tina says, I have the book, Your Hands Can Heal You. Is it similar? Yes. Your Hands Can Heal You is a great book by Master Stephen Ko, the senior pranic healing master in the world, who is a direct disciple of Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. And he wrote that book about 20 years ago. God, has it been? It's about been 20 years. Great book. This particular book has more testimonials of people who have received pranic healing, and it has more protocols than that book does. So this would be like our manual that if you take a pranic healing class, we recommend, hey, why don't you spend the $35 to have that book, and then you always have something to refer back to of doing a protocol. Oh, somebody has a headache. Here's the protocol for headache. Oh, somebody has back pain. Here's a protocol for back pain. Oh, somebody has this condition or ailment. This book has simple to intermediate physical ailments. That's what it works with. The other books and other classes within pranic healing deal with psychological, emotional ailments, addictions, phobias, things like that. Okay? When Elena whirls out, she breathes so heavy and fast through her mouth. I keep reminding her to breathe through her nose. Yes, and if somebody's had a broken nose or a deviated septum, it's very difficult for them to breathe through their nose. So they're always on this low-level anxiety by always breathing through their mouths. Right? And there's other pranayamas, there's other practices, there's other nuances to what we shared with you guys. But that's not what the focus is. The focus is to do the challenge in the morning, get feedback and awareness from the challenge, get a little bit more understanding and go, is it possible for me to change my breathing? 100%. What is the purpose of changing your breathing? To calm your emotions, still your mind, expand your energy by 100% or more, have greater access to your higher soul, and increase the longevity of your physical body. So are those enough benefits to change your breathing? Right? So I highly, highly recommend practicing empty retention. And you don't need to do it 16 hours a day, just being conscious of your breathing throughout the day of like, okay, that Christian guy said something about breathing. Okay. All right, I have 3 extra minutes. Let me do the thing. Okay, so I inhale. Okay, then I exhale through my nose. Okay, my lungs are empty. I'm going to hold it for 5 seconds. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. So you see, I've been doing pranayamas for about 25 years, roughly, and very much so with pranic healing for 16 years. And I get blissed out, man. I'm like gone. I'm gone. It's like Amanda was saying that she was becoming aware of the gap. That is a very, very high teaching and a high practice. We're not going to go into that in this particular stream, but it's planting a seed that when you inhale and you hold and you exhale and you hold, there are gaps that you can enter for spiritual purposes. Okay? So Suresh says, very useful, interesting. I did Shodhanar Kriya from Art of Living years ago and learned a lot about breathing, but you just blew my mind in a couple minutes. Yeah, because of Grandmaster Choa. You know, it was interesting. I was talking with a friend about the different religions and Book of Revelations, right? And I apologize for not remembering what the teacher was sharing about this, but I'm just giving you kind of a broad example. And the Book of Revelations is many, many pages, right? And there's many, many different interpretations. But what I have loved most about Grandmaster Choa Koksui and studying with him for the past 16 years and studying his work, I trained with him for 4 years and then studied his work after that, was the ability for the teacher to take something super, super obtruse and difficult to understand and very quote-unquote esoteric, and he just says, it's about this. Like, in 1 or 2 sentences, it's about this. He actually did this with the Bhagavad Gita, which is a 5,000-year-old text, right? And he basically sat down with one of the masters in pranic healing and he says, this is the lesson of this chapter. This is the lesson of this chapter. This is the lesson of this chapter. Rather than sitting around and spending hours and hours and hours debating, right? And being like, oh, well, what about this? And what about this? And maybe he meant this, and maybe he meant that. And all these like mental masturbation, right? A great teacher, because they can penetrate a subject deeply, goes, it's this. Here's the answer right here. So Revelations, it's like all these pages and all this interpretation and what do these things mean? And within a paragraph or two, the teacher would be like, it's this, this, and this. Here, that's it. So pranayamas can become extremely complex and difficult to understand, but with a great teacher who has the awareness and understanding from the high to the low levels can step it down and say, here's the technique, practice this, this is the result you'll get. Bam, super easy. All right, so, hold on guys. So Sarah goes, what do you mean by the gaps? Excellent question. Amanda says they teach long distance runners to breathe through their nose and exhale through their mouth. For cleansing purposes, they're also getting rid of CO2. Different purpose. But I could argue other long distance runners who breathe solely through their nose. It depends. It depends on the practitioner. Jenny, namaste. So, that being said, Sarah's asking the question, what do you mean by the gap? So, if I inhale, right before I exhale, is there a gap? Is there a still point? Even if it's 1/10 of a second, is there some still point? So you inhale, exhale. Yo, 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 Fairfield in the house, right? Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Even if you don't hold, is there a gap? As you hear me speaking, I'm using syllables, I'm using sound. Are there little itty-bitty tiny gaps in between each syllable and the sounds? Are there little gaps of silence? Yes or no? Christian, you talk so fast, I don't know if there's any silence, right? It's a gap. So when you inhale, there's a gap. When you exhale, there's a gap. When you do higher meditation practices, and Osho, a great spiritual teacher, he called it meditating on the gap. Meditating on the gap. That, for some spiritual schools, that is their entire spiritual practice, is meditating on the gap. So, for those of you who've done the Twin Hearts meditation, what do we have? At the end of the meditation, we do Om. Om. It's not about being aware of the Om. It's about being aware of the gap, the space in between each Om. That's called meditating on the gap. It's extremely powerful. So Amanda was blissing out because as she was doing her pranayama, Lauren, namaste, she was focusing on the gap in between each breath. Make sense? God, I'm blissed out from this conversation. So I hope that helps you guys. Join us tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time for another challenge. This will be challenge number 8. Our plan is to do about 60 challenges to get feedback from each and every one of you. Challenges to grow your soul spiritually, mentally, emotionally, etherically, physically, and financially. The challenges are challenging you guys. I love it. I love that you're willing to get out of your comfort zone. I'm excited that you're ready, willing, and able to try something different. It makes sense for Sarah. Good, good, good. And these challenges are for you. They're not for me. It's my job as a facilitator. I was sharing with somebody today that I don't have a choice not to do what I do. This is my dharma. My dharma is to be a teacher, and my dharma is to be a healer. So I really, even if I want to, there have been times, even if I want to just call it quits and be like, not interested, I want to do something else that's easier, or what's the word I'm looking for? People have an assumption that being a healer is easy. It's about anything but easy. It's very rewarding and very fulfilling, but it's anything but easy. Sweet dreams to you, Jessica. I'm glad your internet is working. Have a wonderful, blessed night to you as well, Joanna. Always good to have you on. Your root and toot. Good one. Jenny knows what time it is. Adriana's giving a shout out. She's like, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't care. Adriana, are you working tomorrow? Stress, you're very, very welcome. Again, all credit to Master Choa. Master Choa is my inspiration in helping people heal and transform their lives. Keeps me going. But I give all credit to my teacher. Whatever I'm doing right is because of him, and whatever I'm doing wrong is definitely because of me, without a doubt. So I do my best to be a good example and disciple of my teacher, but I fall short sometimes. Good night, Jessica. Love you too, girl. And that's it. So you're welcome, Tina. For those of you who need healing, feel free to reach out to me on my website, ChristianRLong.com. Schedule a healing session right there. One of you took advantage just about an hour ago, took advantage of the promo that we're doing. So it's 4 healings for 50% off, and we don't do that normally. We do that maybe twice a year. So I would recommend taking advantage of that if you'd like to work with me and get healing with me and coaching with me and transformation with me. And if you have any questions about it, reach out to me directly and go, hey, Christian, what does it mean to work with you? Then schedule a consultation with me. And then I can say, okay, what do you want to accomplish? Right? Here's a big one I like to do with people when I do a consultation with them. I say, what is it that you want to accomplish? And they go, well, I don't know what I want to accomplish. It feels like this. It sounds like this. It looks like this. Okay, so you're not very clear. Got it. So let's get clarity. Then from that clarity, I say, well, in our case, it's going to take you X amount of sessions or X amount of weeks or X amount of months to get you to where you want to go. Well, how does that sound to you? What does that look like, feel like, etc.? And then you go, okay, I'm ready to move forward. Or, you know what, I'm not ready to move forward just yet, but thank you for the understanding. Thank you for the expectations. John, I'm going to namaste, which is super, super important. Because people have very high expectations that are not realistic, and then those unrealistic expectations lead to suffering. Does that make sense? So it's like somebody, I had a client, this is a few months ago, who had an expectation of having a healing, a miraculous healing take place with a very, very, very difficult case, right? Very difficult case. And I said, here's the expectation. Our experience of working with this condition is this is how many months, this is how much healing is going to need to take place, and this is the homework that you're going to need to do on a regular basis to achieve the result that you want to achieve. After 3 months of working together, there were results, there were benefits, but it did not meet her expectations, and she was understandably disappointed. So I didn't do apparently a good enough job of getting her to understand. That's why self-delusion is something that needs to be removed from all of us. Self-delusion is deluding ourselves into thinking something that is not accurate. So we have an expectation. The expectation is unrealistic, and we will not listen to any and all feedback. Or the feedback that we get that's accurate, we don't want to act on it. So somebody goes, all right, I want to make $500,000 next year. Okay, great. How much did you make this year? Well, I made $50,000. Okay, so you want to increase your income by a factor of 10 in 1 year. Is that my understanding? Yes. Okay, so one of two things needs to happen. A, you need to drop your expectations considerably, right? Or B, you need to up everything that you're doing. Your spiritual work, your mental work, your emotional fortitude and stick-to-itiveness, and your physical activity in order to accomplish that target. Which one are you willing to do? And if the person goes, well, I'm not going to change anything that I'm currently doing, and I'm not going to change my expectations. Okay, well then you're going to be disappointed. Make sense? I hope that's clear. So I always like to set expectations for people. So Denise says, thanks, Christian. Love hearing what you put out in the group, and great to practice more. We love to have you, Denise. Okay, I covered everyone's questions. Good. Everyone's set. I want to make sure no one's left out. Okay, good. So thank you guys very, very much for joining today's Daily Dose of Growth, challenge number 7, to move your life forward and to grow you as a soul. Check us out tomorrow at 8 o'clock a.m. for another challenge. And looking forward to getting feedback from you guys in the evening as well. Suresh says, great advice. Yay, great advice. So I'm going to take a salt bath because I need to decongest and disconnect. Good times. Love you guys very, very much. This is Christian Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and a beautiful life. Atma, namaste. Bye-bye.